Well, students, we're going to keep glazing your buildings. I would like you to make sure that first you make sure to sit with the table that you were using, that you sat with last week. So if I used orange, I would sit at a table that has orange. If I used lime green, I would sit at the table that has lime green, because we're going to put another coat on this. So the first thing is just to remember to hold your brush like a pencil, hold it upside down. I would like you to glaze around the bottom. Go inside the door. So just get a little bit of glaze, dip it back in. Get a little bit of glaze, dip it back in. And keep working your way around. Once you've gone around it, I do like to put my fingers on the inside so I can just kind of hold it without getting glaze on my hands. If you can't get it to go into a spot, just kind of drip it in there. Most of us have a really good coat of glaze on already. So here, I'm just gonna keep going. One observation you can make is if the glaze is drying really fast like it did in that spot, that's probably not 3 coats of glaze. If it takes a long time to dry, that usually means that it's got 3 coats on. If it's still drying really fast, usually means it's still probably your 2nd coat. So I'm gonna drip it in here, go inside that window, in the doors. While it's trying to dry, don't keep brushing it, otherwise you'll just wipe it off of those spots. So right there, dried pretty fast. That probably means that it needs an extra coat of glaze. Get inside that window and just check for white spots. Did you miss anything? Once you're done checking for white spots on the front, please remember that going around the roof is the most careful thing you need to do so you don't get glaze on the roof, because I'm gonna call Quiet Tables up to pick another color for your roof. Extra careful right around there. So here I'm gonna turn it so I can see the edge of the roof, and I'm just gonna go all the way around. I probably don't need to get quite as close to the edge because I've already got a line around it. So that means that gonna turn it, get this next side, just making sure not to go on the edge of the roof. One more side. We talked about this last time too, just making sure to keep your hand clean, because if I get glaze on my hand and then I touch the roof, then I'm gonna end up with glaze on the roof. So here, that has one more coat on it. If I do need to set it down, just make sure this is clean, and you can set it down to dry. Now, when I call you up to do your roof color, I would like you to wipe off your brush, and I would like you just to set it on the table. Please don't put it on the cup and lean it on the cup, because it will tip the cup over. I'm gonna call you over and I'm gonna show you which colors we're gonna have for the roof, because some of these are ones that you haven't seen before. This one is black. I'm gonna set my brush down. It's a shiny black like this roof. This is the melon color. That can be an option. So if I did red for my building and then I wanted to do a melon color for the roof, melon will be a choice, that lime green color. And this one changes. This one looks kind of pinkish purple. It's not. It's really dark blue. So this pinkish purple one is really gonna turn out like that. You're gonna leave, so let's just pretend this is my workspace. I would leave my brush at my table, because you're gonna come over to me and I'm gonna have a spot that has probably, like, we'll just pretend this is the spot that has the lime green melon color. I'll probably have a few brushes that are just next to the cup, and you can pick up your brush, and I'm gonna pick up my building. So your other brush stays at your table because you need a clean brush that has only this melon color on it. And I'm gonna glaze the top, dripping it into those designs. And then when you do the sides, you got to be careful not to get it on the orange. So watch how I'm going to kind of use this like a stamp. I'm just going to stamp it and make sure not to get it over the edge. I don't want it to end up on the orange. So I'm kind of just using it like a stamp, and I'm kind of having it level so it doesn't drip over the edge. Then I would turn it. That's why it's nice that my fingers are on the inside. And I would stamp this edge too. I'll probably be helping students at these stations for the roofs to help you get the edges, just to make sure that we go quickly enough that everyone gets a chance to do their roof. So I'm gonna do this side, just kind of stamp it, being careful not to get any of the orange and the green mixed. Slow and steady. It's not a race. Then we'll do this side too. I'm putting this on thick enough that probably 2 times will be enough, especially if I help you. I know the glaze needs to go on 3 times, but we're gonna put it on thick enough that 2 coats will probably be enough. So you can see the top is already dry. We'll put a second coat up here. We'll just put it on thick enough that I won't need a 3rd coat. Okay. Then once I have the top, then find the side that's the most dry. I'm gonna stamp this edge too. And if I'm helping you do the edges, I am gonna put it on thick enough that you won't need 3 coats. And then I would turn it and do it again. So that's what we're working towards today. When you're done doing the roof, you can go back to I would go back to the table that has the orange glaze, and I would finish my last coat of glaze. I think I've got 2 good coats on now. So I'd get my 3rd coat of glaze on. So here, get this one on. You can see that I'm being really careful, just kind of stamping it around the edge. And now my building is done. At the end, I will talk to you about if you have some glaze on the bottom, just to carefully wipe it off. If your hand needs a break, you can just lay it down, or if the glaze is wet here, then just set it down and just be careful not to let it tip over. If you ever need to set your brush down, wipe it off and set the brush on the table. Don't lean it on the cup. So let's have fun working on these.